welcome back to my channel. We're gonna start with the pages. Yesterday we made the tunnels and today we're gonna start the pages, and this time I am gonna do it a little different. So for those who like to have measurements, then this is your day. Absolutely. So I pre-made a page. I have all my measurements, so we're gonna do this together. So I'm definitely gonna make 2 of these, of course, in the album. Why do I do that? Well, just to please everybody. I'm gonna try to please everybody, because some of you definitely want to have all the measurements and then pre-cut everything and then put everything together. So let's get into it. Okay guys, we are just going to start. So my first page, I'm going to give you all the measurements. The first page is quite simple. I am going to make this album quite simple because with the suitcase and everything, otherwise I think maybe I need 20 tutorials, so you don't want that. So this time we're going to make it quite simple. Alright, so my first page, we have a big pocket. This flips to the left and we have a belly band here, and then we have 2 tuck spots. I think I like to have this the same as the corners from the suitcase, just to bring it back a little bit. So that would be fun. And then that is page 1. So yep, pretty simple. Then we flip this open and then we have a closure right here. We have a big pocket right here, a very big pocket. And then it opens up, and then this, you can slide this out of the tunnel. You still can make a few journal pages in here, whatever you want. So this is going to be in the tunnel pocket. And you just put this back in. So then we have 3 5x5 opening flippity flop pages. And then we have 2 little photo pockets. For 4x6 pictures to put inside. So that's it, nothing else. That's page 1 and 2. So that is what we're going to do together. So I'm going to give you the measurements and I'm going to do it together. So mine is already done, but in the end you will have also 2 pages, 2 the same ones. So let's get started. I'm going to give you the measurements. But during the time we are going to do this together. So for page 1, just pause me, write it down. For page 1 you're gonna need all these measurements. So for the extra page it's 8 by 6 3/4 of an inch, and then you score 1/2 inch. Then for the pocket you need a 4.5 by 7 1/4 inch, then you score 1/2 inch. Then for the belly band you're going to need 2 7/8 inch by 9, and then you score 1/2 inch both sides. And then for the tuck spots you're going to cut 4 by 4 inch, score 1/2 inch all the way around, so 4 fold lines, and then cut it in half, and then you also have the tuck spots. So that is for page 1 guys. So pause me, write it down, so you will have everything. And let's get started. It rains so hard outside. Oh my gosh. Alright, so let's get started for this new page. So I'm first gonna make my extra page. That's 8 by 6 3/4. Let's grab my scoreboard. Doesn't fit completely, but you get the picture. So I am gonna cut mine 8 by 6 3/4. And the reason why I make 2 pages, because that was my tryout. Well, I'm definitely gonna use that also, but just to check if the measurements are correct. So 6 3/4, we're gonna cut that down. And then we are going to score on this side, the longest side. We're going to score a 1/2 inch. That is our page, our extra page. And you always can check This is our tunnel, and yep, that is our first page. Burnish it down. You can do this later, but let's do that right away. So this is done. Alright, first page. Okay, that is our first step for the extra page. 8 by 6 3/4 of an inch, score 1/2 inch. Easy peasy, that it was. Now my next goal, my next piece is I always check if I have leftover pieces, and I do see that I have a piece. Let's check. We do need a 4.5. Yep, this fits nice. 4.5 by 7/1/4. Okay, that's the first step. 4.5 by 7/1/4, and then we're gonna score a 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So of course the long side and the short ones. Now if you are not sure if the measurement is correct, you always can check. So first fold down one side and then put that at the end of your page, and then you always can make a mark just to check if my measurements are correct. But if I see, it can go a little smaller, so it's always good to extra check. See, I have mine just a little bigger. All right, so that's always checking, always good to check. Okay, let's put some tape on. Here we go. Then I like to cut the corners, and it's just nicely in the corner, just a big cut. Fold it, burnish it down. There you go. And then you can, if you want, put this on. There we go. I like to use, this is just sensitive painter's tape. So it does not have a very strong glue on the other side, but still it holds very well. Any painter's tape, by the way, will do. This is just to prevent that everything that I put in this pocket will bump into this 1/2 inch hinge. So that is why I use the painter's tape, to prevent that. Okay, that is one. Alright, let's make the belly band. The belly band was 278 by 9 inch, and then score 1/2 inch. Do we have a long, I think maybe this one. 278. Oh no, this is just too short, unfortunately. I like to keep the measurements. 278. Why do I have that measurement? I think that the tag, the cutouts, will fit nicely on it. Alright, so 278 by 9. And then you just score 1/2 inch both sides. I assume that the measurements are correct, but you always can check that. There we go. Some tape on it. The back of this page, let's check, fits perfect. So first I'm gonna add Let's open this up so I see where the middle is. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And there you go. Burnish it down. It's that simple, guys. Our first page is done. Let's grab our tunnel. Peel off a little corner. And just place this nicely in the middle on your left. There you go. Let's make the tuck spots. Let's see, a 4 by 4. Maybe this will fit. This is almost a 4. 4 by 4. Yep. Then we are going to score all around 1/2 inch. Let's place some tape on. Here we go. Let's cut the corners. And then we're going to cut from corner to corner. Place it down. And there you go. Fold everything around. Burnish it down. And there we have our little tuck spots. There we go, grab the page. And put them in. It's not that difficult. Here we go, and now you can add pictures, big pictures, small pictures, whatever you like, in these little tiny pockets. Alright, that was not that difficult. Let's go to the other side. Okay, let's go to the back. So first, I'm gonna make that, let's turn this over. First I'm gonna show you. What everything is. So write it down with me. So for the insert booklet that goes in the tunnel page, I did just fold an A4, fold in half. For those who have inches, that's 11/5 by 8 1/4 inch. That is my measurement of an A4. Then we do need those 3 little flip pages that you're going to cut 5.5 by 5 inch, and then you score 1/2 inch, of course, on the side from the 5.5 inch, so you end up with a 5 by 5. Okay, so those we have 3 times. Then we go to the photo frame pockets. You're going to cut 2 times 2 inch by 7/3 inch. So 2 inch by 7/3 inch, and you score a 1/2 inch plus 7 1/4. And then the photo frames are of course 4 by 6. And then for the closure, of course, you're going to make 2 of those round ones. And it's a personal option if you like to have a big pocket on top of your booklet. If you don't, then skip this part, but if you like, the more the better in my opinion. So it's a personal option to make an extra big pocket on your insert booklet. So you're going to cut a 6/3 by 8 1/4 inch, and you're going to score 1/2 inch 3 sides, just for the big pocket, of course. And that's it. That's it, guys. So we're going to start with the big booklet. So I first just have my big A4, and I'm just gonna cut this, fold this in 2 pieces. Here we go. That's a nice big insert. Now, in my opinion, I do love that big booklet, so I'm gonna cut a 6 3/4 by 8 1/4, that is this one, and then I am going to score 3 sides, and I'm going to leave the small side open, of course. There we go. Nice big pockets. Here we go. Cut the corners. And there we go, start at the bottom. There we go. Use my tape. And then of course everything what you're gonna put inside these pockets you can measure your own, of course, guys. Of course we can do something ourselves. Alright, that is my insert. Then we're gonna go make those 3 flippable pages. Always check your leftovers, guys, always check. This is not a 5.5 but a 5, I can. Then a 5.5 and score 1/2 inch. Another 5.5, 1/2 inch. See, I have 2 already, and I have another leftover piece. Oh, this is just, oh my gosh, it is 2 millimeters too narrow, so that I don't want. So I'm gonna cut a new piece, 5 by 5.5. There you go. Alright, put some tape on. Fold it, burnish it down, of course. Let's see, where do I want this? I'm gonna put my tunnel inside, so I'm gonna show you how I like to measure. So if this is inside, I'm just gonna make a little pencil mark. So I'm just going to start at the bottom, so I'm going to line this up, and I'm going to stay 1 or 2 millimeters away from that. So these are not going to be seen. I'm going to do the same thing on top, but then I'm just going to line this up with the previous one. Yes, and then the last one, just in the middle. Easy peasy. Check where. Yep, this is the correct side. And then this, I'm just gonna put this in the middle. I'm just gonna eyeball it. There we go. Burnish it down. Yes, okay, easy peasy. Let's make those little photo frame pockets. Check your leftovers. I see here something. So that is a 2-inch. A 2-inch by 7 3/4. And then of course we're gonna score 1/2 inch. 3 sides. Let's make another one. Let's see if I have something that fits. 2-inch. 2-inch by 7 3/4. And then we score 1/2. There we go. Put this away for a moment. I think we are having everything. And then of course the fun part almost gonna be beginning. The design paper. Then everything comes together. Now it really looks boring to me, but it will be fun soon as we're gonna start with the designing. Here we go. And there we go. Let's peel this off. Open this up. And let's just add the first one below. This is a little too big. Oh. It's just a fraction too big. Okay, okay. It's no big deal. Better too big than too small, but I have to adjust this a little. So sorry. Let's adjust this a little. Alright, so you need to check that. You need to check that. So if you have your measurements, then check it out if it's too big on your page. And if it is, then you just need to adjust that a little bit. Not a big mistake, but just a little. Here we go. You definitely don't want to have it too big. Okay, that's our first one. Then I assume that this one is also, oh, this one is just a tiny little bit, not that much. Not that much, but still I want to change it a tiny little bit. Okay guys, so for these, double check. And before I can put this in the middle, I need to make a mark where this is the middle. This is the middle. Okay, open this up. I forgot the tape. This one, I think, yes, I think I forgot. With being it's small, I totally forgot. Well, that's okay. Here we go. Our second photo frame pocket. Alright. Clean up a little bit loose ends. So we have our 2 pages here. And one on this side, and then our big insert closes it down with our wound piece that we still need to put in, that I need to make, but then we have our little round one. You also can make a swing tab, but I think that's too big, so I do like the closure with the round ones. So that is, so we have our big pocket here, insert, photomat pockets. Yeah, it is pretty simple, but wait till we have our design paper on. So one last time, you can still pause me with all the measurements. Write it down, guys. Write it down. So remember, with the photo frame pockets, you still can cut this, but be sure that this fits. Just measure a little bit extra. Alright, let's decorate. Okay guys, first I'm gonna do the tuck spots, just because I just want to have the, I call these I call these fake leather belt things. I like to have that a little bit back in these pages. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the same paper. I'm just gonna measure. Well, I think I also can just cut this in 2. So if you just cut this, it's, by the way, I think you also can measure how big this is. This is a small tree. So if you want to cut this a 2 3/4, let's just give that a go. Let's just do that. A 2 3/4. A 2 3/4. That's this. So 2 3/4 by a 2 3/4, and if you then just split this, do we then have the perfect size? Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Not bad, not bad at all. Maybe would have it a little bit bigger to have it fully, but it's not bad at all. But 2 3/4 I did. Let's make it just a little bit bigger. Not quite a 2 7/8, but I am that picky. Yep, I am. I am. Can't help it. Okay. Let's see. Yep, this fits better. Okay. Then that is what I'm gonna need, and I also have two pages, so let me make the other one as well. Alright, so I am gonna color these. Just grab another underground, and I do like to have tissue, otherwise my fingers are quickly dirty. I'm gonna grab an old sponge. And then I'm just gonna smooch it all as the same as we did with the belts and the strips and everything. There we go. And in the meantime, I am going to tell you a little bit. I had this morning my appointment with the denture maker. Still do not have, look up the correct word for that. The denture maker. To check. I had another appointment, which I now saw that they did a pretty good job. I still doesn't have it in. It's still not ready. I call that with some sort of blue paper, and then you need to bite on it so they can see if the bite is correct. And it was almost perfect. They need to adjust just a few little spots that are still a little too tight. But God, the front teeth looked amazing. Now they are straight and not that direction. So it felt already nice. And they actually told me it's going to be ready next week, but they felt so sorry for me that it's going to be ready tomorrow. Yay! Well, actually Monday or Tuesday, but I told them that I had a big event this weekend, and I asked them, well, if you can't, you can't. But I was a little bit, maybe you can make it ready for me tomorrow, so I have my below denture in public, in big public, not just go to the grocery store, but yeah, in big public. And it's not like a wedding, but kinda. So a big, yeah, it's an event. I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna meet a lot of people, so it's maybe better that I have my below dentures in. And they promised me, yep, tomorrow late in the afternoon I can pick it up. Yes, they promised me. They felt so sorry that everything went so bad, and they absolutely admitted that the first one was definitely not correct made. And so yeah, they don't want to have any bad commercials, bad reviews. So they promised me that they will fix it. Do I now made every, yeah, I made. You don't have to flip these around. So I was very happy, and yeah, what I already saw was nice. But that is still the reason why you definitely hear some difference in my voice and the sound of the words and the sound of my breathe with a T. Well, so yeah, and that's also because my upper denture is getting looser every single week. But tomorrow they're gonna put a soft liner in or something. How can I call it? I don't know how you call it all. But so it will get better and better fitting. So yeah, that's still, and don't want to use glue the last day, so so that's a little bit the thing that's going on. And there is just another thing that's bothering me quite. That's the dryness of the mouth inside the mouth. Oh my gosh, my mouth is so dry. Oh, and I googled it, and I read so many people have that. Oh my gosh, it's a terrible feeling. I can have each second a sip of the water, but that will not help. The only thing that do help is to get a little candy in my mouth, like I call those, to have something in your mouth that does not easily run out. I don't know what is called in English, how that candy piece is going to be calling, but anyways, that helps. But yeah, I can't have a sweet in my mouth right now. Then you hear me clock, 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 clock. No, that would be not a good idea. So, but when my mouth is dry, then I do hear that my sound of my speaking is not, well, maybe you don't hear it, but I hear it myself. So I get annoyed by it, but I hope everything will be still joyful for you guys to follow, and not that you think, oh my gosh, I will definitely going to skip this tutorial because I can't hear the voice, I can hear the sound of the words, I can't hear her talking. I apologize for that. That is since the Be a Wildflower project, and this Time to Travel absolutely is also still going on, and I think the rest of the year will be. I think, I don't know, I hope not that it's going to take that much long time before the sound of my speaking is gonna getting back and better, but that's what it is, guys. That's my journey for now, and that's what it is. So yeah, so if you don't want to hear me, I feel so sorry, but yeah, it's what it is, guys. So I apologize. I have to go through this journey, and it's not a joyful journey, absolutely not. But there is one thing what I am very, very happy about this journey is that I have all my teeth gone. Good heaven, I finally do not have any teeth pain. For those who knows how that is, yeah, I'm finally with you. Finally, my teeth are not any issues any longer. So, oh, good heaven. And that this is going to be a long journey to have finally the dentures fitting nicely and everything, and maybe I'm going to go with implants and all those things that makes it everything a little bit better. It's going to be a long trip. I know, but I hope you still are with me. I am going to put this in. Look how fancy that is. So I'm going to glue this in. Let's see, just with the glue. I hope it, yeah, this is 160 grams, so I think it does not put the glue through. But this looks nice. It's gonna be a little bit the feeling coming back from the corners from the suitcase. I do like it. It almost felt like a leather look. It's not leather, but a little bit the vibe. God, I love it. I love, 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 love it. Oh my gosh, just perfect. So once in a while, it doesn't need to be on every page, but, and I do not know if I want to have this more, but this definitely is amazing. I'm gonna glue these down as well on this side, and then I'll come back for the next step. Okay guys, my first two, yep, we're gonna do two, one at a time, is I'm gonna use one red one. And we can, well, not necessarily. I was just thinking this also would fit. If we make this mark a little lower than the pocket, let's say 1 inch, not a 1 inch, ½ inch, and then we're going to end this because we're going to use the back. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this piece. And then we can cut this right away. And then we can cut this piece. Alright. Let's smooch the edges. Go. And then this for the back. Let's see if that fits, and otherwise we just need to adjust that a little tiny bit. That is where my fiskars comes handy. Yep, now it fits nicely. Go. Slide that in your pocket. And there we go. Burnish it down, of course. That looks nice, but it's gonna look nicer if we're gonna put this on top. And do you like a little edge around this one? You can, of course, but that's the idea. I'm gonna do the same with this, with the blue one, and then I'll come back. We have an image here, but I don't want to cut the image. I'm gonna flip this around, and then I'm just gonna cut my pocket and the back pocket same as I did with the other one. And there you go. Easy peasy, check. This fits already. Flip this around, of course. So it's not the meaning that I'm gonna do the same thing left and right page, but for this first page I do, just because. Go switch the edges. And then for this one, I'm gonna use the boat image. This one also I like. No, I think it does not notice. So I'm gonna smooch the edges. So it is up to you if you like it like this, or that you want to have a black edge around it. I don't know if that's necessary. I'm gonna check if that is nice to do. This does not fit. This does fit. Maybe I need to. So always check your leftover pieces. So I don't know exactly if I want this, but it really pops out, pops up. Very nice. Let's see the difference. So let's see the difference. Let's put this on here. Okay. And one without. And then you can judge which one you like. I like with the black. Yep. Alright, I'll come back to you when this is done. So, easy peasy. What do you think? Could not resist. Could not resist making of this a little tuck spot. And you still have your big pocket behind it. I added this time to travel in this corner. Yeah, I think this looks nice. So I'm gonna make this together with you because I still had this left, guys. So why not? Let's find a leftover piece for this little note, this little guy. Yep, wide enough. Always checking. Checking. Zip over my. So what I did, I'm just rounding the corners, just like that, and I'm just gonna snap off what I want. Don't forget to smooch the edges. There we go. Now I start with gluing this down on a piece of paper in the middle. Then everything is so simple, of course, but for those who wants to know, place this on, also in the middle. Just overlap this a little bit so that leather piece folds back. Alright, and when that is dry, we're just gonna cut this out. You can use your cutting machine, of course, if you want. I trust my scissors. And for the small pieces, I like to have my Tim Holtz scissors. Here we go, and then I'm just gonna punch a little hole. And then I'm just gonna put a little ribbon through. This one is a little thicker than the blue ribbon, so I hope I manage. Here we go. Watch your fingers. Okay, so we glue down 3 sides. I can make this a little wider, it's just a thin little card. Place this in the middle. And there you go. Our first page. With a little note. Yes. I like it. I like it. See? Don't throw anything away. You still can use it. You still can use it. Alright, so what shall we do on here? Well, I definitely want to have the color coming back. So let's see what we have, what we can use. I do like a full inside. So let's see. We also can do a nice brown one. What else do we have? These we have. That's on the back. This one is nice for the blue one. But this is also nice for the blue one. Ooh, okay. Options. For this I am gonna do this. And I'm gonna use this image to leave it in the corner. So what I'm gonna do first, just measure this completely. Then I'm going to stay away a little from this edge. And then just see where this page ends. Go, and then we're gonna try first before I'm gonna smooch if it fits. Look at that. Let's see. This still also fits. Nice. Look at that. Easy peasy. Yep, I'm gonna smooch the edges. Gonna glue it in. Yep. Okay, next step. I have all kind of leftovers right here. So what I do is, let me first go to the top. So this is a little bit the idea. With a belly band, you don't need to cut a full piece of paper, but the only thing that I don't like is to put like this, because everything that you're gonna put under here will get stuck. See, you don't want that. So, but you also can, using leftover pieces, this direction, because everything that you pull in here will not getting stuck whatsoever. So you can use your strips for that. So, but let me first go to the top. So I chose this paper for the back, for the blue one. So let me stick first to the blue one. And I think this will ease it down. I really like this, the colors come back. So I first go cut this piece for this one. Here we go, switch the edges. And glue it on. Getting hungry already. Okay, I had that yesterday also. And my stomach was telling me, hey you, we need food. No, you just have to wait. What shall I eat today? I have no clue. I did not put any meat out of the fridge. My daughter is just starting working, so she has the late shift, so we are only with the two of us. Look at this, this is nice. I like it. I like it. But I'm gonna cut these little edges off. But it's a challenge also. I think I already told you that I only can eat soft food. It's definitely a challenge. But I will think of something. Yeah, this is better. See, so we still have some edges. I don't want to have a tuck spot, so this is just for the decoration. You don't need to have every single time a black background as well. You don't need to. You can, but it's not necessary. I think this is nice, just simple. Yeah, and like I told you, for the back you can use anything that you have, but I just think that maybe this is a nice one. And then come back with the blue. And then I only have a small piece left. What if we do this one? Not bad. Not bad at all. So I'm gonna cut these pieces and I'll come back. So what do you think? This looks nice. I really like it. And these pockets, you can tuck so many things in here. Yep, I like it. I like it. Alright, so let's do the same with the wet one. We can do it. Look how gorgeous this is. I I like it. And of course I still not have anything in here, but look, I like it. So you can put so many things in here, but for now I will leave this postcard here, and you still can add your picture at the back, of course. Of course. Yeah, I like it, like it, like it. Let's put this one in here. Just perfect, guys. Oh, I love it. So cool. Alright, for me it's time to go make my dinner, but this is page 1, and later we'll go to this page. Yep. But so far, oh, I like it. Oh, why am I still out of frame? Okay, guys. See you later, alligator. Bye bye.